Get ready for the action, because Paris Saint-Germain is going absolutely wild in training. Luis Enrique's squad is preparing for the Champions League final against Arsenal by using a bizarre and intense new tactic. We are talking about PSG goalkeepers training with rugby tackle shields to prepare for the expected aerial bombardment. This is a massive strategic move as they chase back-to-back European titles, and you have to see how this unconventional drill will impact their game against the Gunners.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
The transfer market is heating up as Bayern Munich reevaluates their plans. Reports indicate that FC Barcelona has dropped out of the pursuit of Anthony Gordon, largely due to Newcastle United's massive financial demands. This shift in dynamics is opening doors for Bayern, who might now look at alternatives like Charles de Ketelaere. We dive into why this Belgian star is suddenly becoming a key alternative to Gordon in the Bavarians' summer plans. Meanwhile, the pressure is mounting for Bayern Munich in their upcoming domestic showdown. Sporting directors Christoph Freund and Fabian Wohlgemuth have shared their thoughts ahead of the difficult DFB Pokal final against VfB Stuttgart. They are clearly feeling the weight of expectation, with Freund emphasizing that they want to take that trophy home, while Wohlgemuth acknowledges the favorite's status, but still believes the underdogs have a chance to make a huge statement. And finally, the biggest dilemma facing Bayern Munich involves Alphonso Davies and the World Cup. The club is facing a tough decision regarding Davies' injury recovery and his availability for the tournament. Will Bayern push for full rehab, or will Davies risk missing the World Cup entirely? We break down the complex choices ahead for both the player and the club, and don't miss the rest of the story. Paris Saint-Germain is employing an unconventional training tactic to prepare their goalkeepers for the intense aerial pressure expected in the upcoming Champions League final against Arsenal. Under coach Luis Enrique, PSG has reportedly introduced a training drill utilizing rugby tackle shields to simulate the crowded and physical environment of the 6-yard box. Footage from the training ground shows staff using these padded shields to buffet and obstruct goalkeepers while they attempt to handle high balls, a direct response to the physical bombardment Arsenal is known for. Arsenal has established a formidable reputation for exploiting dead ball situations, using high-pressure routines to advance through the Premier League and reach the final. PSG is keenly aware of this threat and is focused on neutralizing Arsenal's specific aerial weaponry ahead of the match in Budapest on May 30th. For PSG, the goal is to secure a back-to-back European title. For Arsenal, it represents a chance to claim the trophy using their calculated style of chaos in the box. Bayern Munich's summer transfer strategy appears to be shifting following reports that FC Barcelona has dropped out of pursuit for Anthony Gordon. According to transfer insider Fabrizio Romano, Barcelona reportedly ended their interest due to the substantial financial demands Newcastle United is reportedly making for the Englishman should a transfer materialize. This development has potentially opened avenues for Bayern Munich to explore alternative targets. While Newcastle is still reportedly asking between €80 and €90 million for the 25-year-old kicker, suggests the Bavarians are currently unwilling to meet such high figures. Consequently, Charles de Ketelaere has emerged as a viable alternative to Gordon. De Ketelaere is considered a significantly cheaper option and possesses versatility, capable of playing across various attacking roles, including central forward positions and the number 10 spot. Kicker indicates that Bayern has not denied interest in de Ketelaere when questioned by their journalists. Transfermarkt.com values the Belgian player at €35 million. De Ketelaere is now listed among 3 alternatives to Gordon, which also include Barcelona loanee Marcus Rashford and Ajax Amsterdam talent Mika Götze. Bayern Munich and VfB Stuttgart sporting directors, Christoph Freund and Fabian Wohlgemuth, were in Berlin on Monday for the DFB Pokal Trophy handover ceremony. Speaking at the event in the German capital, Freund expressed ambition for the upcoming final. Bayern haven't been to Berlin for a long time. Now we're there and we want to take the trophy home, Freund stated. He acknowledged the challenge ahead, noting, "We couldn't have gotten a more difficult final." VfB are the title holders. They're playing really good football and are always there in important games. Freund added that having been a spectator in Berlin for a previous Bayern versus Dortmund match, he anticipated a significant occasion, calling it a magical night. Stuttgart's Fabian Wohlgemuth echoed this sentiment, joined by Baden-Württemberg captain Atakan Karaser. The duo shared a consensus that Bayern Munich are heavily favored. Wohlgemuth stated, "On paper, the favorites are clear, but I still think we have a chance. We want to experience what we did last year again." Karaser reinforced the sentiment, asserting, "Bayern are simply the best team in Germany and one of the best teams in the world, we know that. And that's how we'll approach the game." Despite feeling like underdogs, Karaser added a competitive edge. "We feel like the underdogs, but we want to give Bayern a hard time, and we've beaten them before," concluding the exchange on a positive note. Bayern Munich is facing a significant dilemma regarding the availability of Alphonso Davies for the upcoming World Cup. The player is currently dealing with a muscle tear, requiring a 6-week rehabilitation period. This conflicts directly with the tournament's 3-week deadline for club players to be released, while there are reports from Canada suggesting a shorter 4 to 5-week break, allowing Davies to potentially return in time for the tournament's start. This presents a substantial risk. Furthermore, even if Davies were to travel only as a supporter, his rehabilitation would be severely hampered by the constant interruptions of intercontinental and domestic travel. Conversely, if Bayern Munich insists on completing his full rehabilitation in Munich, Davies would miss what is described as a once-in-a-lifetime experience, his home World Cup. The situation is compounded by the fact that Davies is only a year past tearing his ACL and has recently suffered another hamstring injury, making the decision to forego proper rest for a condensed tournament format a potential recipe for disaster, even if he travels with the Canadian national team. Questions are now mounting over whether Bayern Munich will attempt to persuade Davies to skip the tournament, or if Davies will make his own decision to sit out or remain in Germany for rehabilitation. Both outcomes appear unlikely, suggesting this uncertainty will persist for several more weeks while Canada Soccer awaits a final decision. Separately, FIFA is nearing the finalization of the 26-man squads for the 2026 World Cup, with official lists expected on June 2nd, following the submission deadline of May 30th. Provisional rosters were due on May 11th, comprising 35 to 55 players.